if you can, briefly, in order, in your opinion, what are the three most important factors that will contribute to the global development of ethanol? Tonsager, would you like to start asking this? Oh, I'm sorry, answering this. I apologize.
Well, I think the first most important issue will be the concern about global warming and the impacts it has on all of us as we work our way through the issues associated with that, and coming up with alternative energy sources that replace the carbon-based energy sources. I think the multitude of solutions that exist in providing all kinds of energy sources is the paramount question. So I think the dialogue that is being engaged right now on the environmental challenges we're faced with will drive much of that. I think that would be the first and highest priority. I'm not sure you want me to explore the other two potentials, but I think I'd like my colleagues to also offer their views if we could.
Lord Browne?
I'm going to pick two. First, I think for governments, governments, of course, always establish markets. That's what a free market is big boundaries set by governments with players then making decisions. Governments have to do that in the energy area widely stated. And those boundaries have to be clear, they have to be stable, and they have to be predictable. So that's my point, I think, there. Secondly, I think for this particular industry, don't think of yourselves as separate. It's part of a much wider change in the energy mix that we will use worldwide. This is simply a part of it, whether as an oxygenate in petroleum fuels or whether it's a standalone fuel, all sorts of things like that. But think of yourself as part of the energy industry and think of yourselves as contributing unitedly.
Any add-on, Mr. Gabrielli? Otherwise, okay,
yes,
please go ahead.
I think that is two things are important as government interventions, government policies. One is for the demanding countries, where I think that's necessary that the government defines a ramping up of the use of ethanol blended with the gasoline. And the other is in the potential producing countries, that is the tropical area countries that have to develop policies that would give attraction for investments to increase production of ethanol, I believe today from sugarcane, but not only from sugarcane, that are efficient, energetically efficient.
Mr. Elkington, your three major factors that would contribute to the development of a global ethanol market.
Well, there were three points that I put down. I'm sure there could be a longer list, but the first one is better information. I think, you know, in coming to this conference, I had to try and find whatever information I could. There is a great deal of really interesting market intelligence and technology information out there, but it's not easily accessible at the moment for the public or for the people who inform the public, particularly the media. I think the reason why information is important, if you look back at the attempts to get sort of unleaded gasoline in, all sorts of confusions were spread by different actors in that sort of industrial ecosystem, and people used that confusion as an excuse, as an alibi, not to act. We really want ethanol to be used, and therefore the information piece is key. It probably doesn't need saying, but part of this is the second point, is a successful industry in tomorrow's markets will be almost painfully open, hold itself accountable to external stakeholders, and be honest. And that means not always doing the propaganda piece. Where there are problems, where there are weak spots in the industry, be very open about that. Invite the critics in to look at that and help decide how best to address the challenges. And the third one is just back to branding. This is going to be a very noisy, busy, global energy market. We're not simply going to go for sustainability. We're going to go for security, and we're going to go for diversity of supply. So into that, and with protectionism and other pressures, Brazil Incorporated and the ethanol industry really has to make sure that your voice stands out in that sort of hubbub or background noise, is credible, is reliable, and is interesting. Because I think for me that's a key, and it's only by sort of reading some of the background material I realize quite how interesting what you're doing potentially is.
Thank you. We are closing in. We are very short of time, so I'll ask Mr. Rodrigues to step down of his privileged situation as a spectator and go ahead and tell us the 3 factors, in your opinion, which will contribute to the development of a global biofuels market. And these will be the closing words of this panel.
Thank you, Will. I will speak in Portuguese, of course, even because I want to tell you the small story about combination, as you have said before.
No, that was not agreed among us. That was my surprise for you after you gave me one at the beginning.
Eu gostaria de fazer 2 ou 3 comentários curtos aqui. O primeiro em relação à posição do presidente Gabrielli sobre o fato de que o Brasil é um país especial, porque conseguiu montar uma rede de distribuição de etanol consistente, um sistema de produção consistente e que dificilmente isso será estendido para outros países do mundo. Eu me permito discordar, presidente, porque há 35 anos atrás nós não tínhamos uma rede de etanol, não tínhamos um sistema de produção, não tínhamos a tecnologia desenvolvida e há 5 anos atrás não tínhamos um carro flex. Então, não significa que outros países não possam desenvolver esse tipo de coisa e, mais do que isso, eu acho que o Brasil tinha que ter inteligência suficiente para ser o grande vendedor de tecnologia, de carro flex, de indústrias de etanol, de agronomia de cana-de-açúcar e aprendermos juntos com os Estados Unidos, por exemplo, a questão do etanol de celulose na 2ª geração e buscarmos com os Estados Unidos, com a Europa e com o Japão o desenvolvimento do etanol na África, em outros países da América Latina, em países asiáticos. Acho que isso é uma coisa que nós podíamos fazer e construir um mundo mais agradável do ponto de vista ambiental, inclusive, com etanol em outros países. Apenas fazer esse pequeno comentário. Agora, penso que isso demanda, as perguntas que fiz, William, ao início da minha apresentação, eu acredito em todas elas. Eu acredito que nós precisamos criar um mercado, acredito que há necessidade de uma grande coordenação para que isso aconteça, que o Brasil tem condições de liderar esse projeto. Acredito na mudança geopolítica, no paradigma agrícola mundial mudando. Então, o que nós precisamos ter é coordenação. Isso é essencial. E eu queria dizer a todos aqui na plateia que está entre vocês todos aqui um homem extraordinário a quem o Brasil deve enormemente o programa do álcool, porque ele fez uma coordenação entre órgãos de governo e, com isso, ele conseguiu montar um projeto que nos levasse aonde estamos hoje. Este homem merece a gratidão eterna do setor sucroalcooleiro brasileiro, da indústria automobilística brasileira, que é o ministro João Camilo Pena. Queria um aplauso para ele, quero notar. Ministro, o nosso setor jamais poderá pagar o que lhe deve, pela sua decisão, pelo seu trabalho. De modo que, um pouco é isso, William. Gostaria de montar esse final. É preciso coordenação, aqui dentro e daqui dentro para fora, para que a gente possa, de fato, construir esse mercado que melhore o mundo para nós, para nossos filhos e para os nossos netos.
Muito obrigado, Roberto. Não, eu vou fazer em português agora. Sorry for this. Eu queria agradecer em nome dos participantes a atenção e a competência das perguntas que vocês encaminharam para mim, que ajudaram a tornar o debate vivo e, sobretudo, agradecer a vocês pela atenção. Muito obrigado.